week. So I want to do Psalm 99 just a little bit differently in that I want to read the psalm and work almost backwards through it, and then come into his presence at the end of our little time together here this week. So let me first read Psalm 99 and then we'll start kind of dissecting it. So, God of holiness, again, this is from the Passion Translation from Brian Simmons. Yahweh is our king over all. Everyone trembles in awe before him. He rules enthroned between the wings of the cherubim. So let the earth shake and quake in wonder before him. For Yahweh is great and glorious in the midst of his Zion people. He is exalted above all. Let everyone praise this breathtaking God, for he is holy. A lover of justice is our mighty king. He is right in all his ways. He insists on being fair to all, promoting true justice and righteousness in Jacob. So everyone exalt the Lord our God, face down before his glory throne, for he is great and holy. God has his praying priests like Moses, Aaron, and Samuel, who all interceded asking God for help. God heard their cries and came to their rescue. He spoke to them from the pillar of clouds, and they followed instructions, doing everything he told them. God, the great forgiver, answered their prayers, yet he would punish them when they went astray. Keep exalting the Lord our God, face down before his glory throne. What I want to do is I want to go back and I want to look at the three people that are mentioned in this psalm. He comes out and we've got Moses, we have Aaron, and we have Samuel. And the thing that occurs to me with Moses is that Moses gets to speak. He sees the face of God. He sees the Shekinah glory of his God. So we have Moses who there's a fire by night, there's a cloud by night and a fire by day, a tangible presence of the Lord that is around Moses all the time. It leads the Israelites through the wilderness. And then you've got Aaron that is allowed into the holiest of holies in the temple. There's only one high priest that's allowed into the holiest of holies. So we go from Moses, where he has a one-on-one relationship with God, and then we go to Aaron, his priesthood, his priest, Levite priest that's allowed to come into the holiest of holies in the presence of the Lord. And then you've got little Samuel. And it's just a little bit step removed from where Moses was, of course, with the Lord. And I just want to read you a little bit of Samuel's story. I'm going to be reading from you from my Amplified, 1 Samuel chapter 3. I'm just going to chat a little bit about verses, 4. When the Lord called Samuel and he answered, "Here I am," he ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." Eli said, "I did not call you. Lie down again." So he went and he lay down again. And the Lord called him, "Samuel." And Samuel arose and went to Eli and he said, "Here I am. You did call me." Eli answered, "I did not call you, my son. Go lie down again." Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, and the word of the Lord was not yet revealed to him. And the Lord called Samuel the third time, and he went to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you did call me." Then Eli perceived what the Lord was calling the boy. So how far removed did we go from Psalm 99, from Moses and Aaron? And now we have a little boy that does not yet know the Lord, and the Lord is calling him. He is calling him by name. Samuel, Samuel, that's our God. That's our God. We're not Moses. I get that we are not Moses. I get that. I get that in this day and age, we don't have that tangible presence of a cloud by day and a fire by night. We don't have that right now. And maybe we don't have that that place like that Aaron had where you could go into the holiest of holies. But how exciting what we do have is that our God calls us by name before we even know him. Before we know him, he calls us. And when the word of the Lord has not yet been revealed to us, he still calls us by name. That's who we are now. That's what we get to be as the brethren of Christ, as the bride of Christ, the body of believers. We get that relationship with our God. So, knowing that this is who our God is, I want to go back just a little bit more, and I want to say to you this part: Yahweh is king over all. Everyone trembles in awe before him. Have we ever forgotten how intimate our God is? That our God calls us by name before we know him, before we even know we want to know him, before the beauty and the revelation of the scriptures is opened and revealed to our hearts, our God calls us by name. Can we forget that awe? Can we become complacent in our relationship with him, expectant of the next miracle? Can we lose the awe and the wonder of the moment that this holy God that is separate, set apart, and totally different from anything else that's ever has or ever will be, that this holy God is willing to dwell with his people and meet our needs? The earth shakes and trembles in awe. Like, I just want to get stuck on that, because we can become so complacent in our walk with him. We can forget this little boy Samuel, that our God has a history of leading and guiding and meeting us, and before we know him, calling us by name. Do you stand before the Lord your God today in awe? Does the earth around you tremble and quake in wonder of him? Something to think about. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week on Psalm 100. Have a great week.